If you're not muted, if you're not Joe, now's the good time to mute.
Okay, can you see my desktop?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get started. My presentation today is controlling an Arduino LED with fourth commands in a spreadsheet. This was what was used: Arduino Uno, Arduino IDE, Creo fourth for Python, LibreOffice Calc, and Linux. I first started with Raspbian Minix and then I switched to Linux Mint because I can't seem to use Zoom with Raspbian. Here are my steps. Upload the LED on off to.ino sketch on the Arduino Uno. I have all of this code at my GitHub repository. Open LibreOffice Calc, at least for Linux Mint, that has to be run as root. So sudo LibreOffice or sudo LibreOffice --calc will do it. I opened this spreadsheet, which I've called SVFIG LibreOffice example.ods. On sheet 1 is the user interface. Column A has a description, B has the fourth commands to run, and C has the cells to be marked with X to run when the button is clicked. All right, let's see if I can get you the spreadsheet. All right, I'm bringing it over. This is what it looks like. So let me go to the next slide. So I call this a poor man's user interface. So I have the description on the left-hand side, the code that is to be executed in the middle, and then run the X on the right. So let me go back to my spreadsheet and give an example of this. Okay, so wherever the X is, it will run the X. So it scares up the dialog box, it says hello. So if I go down, it says tulip. This is the test primitive that I developed. Same kind of thing. Test definition, put whatever you want here. Okay, here I'm going to turn the LED light on. So have this command, one LED 13. Okay, so does everyone see my Arduino Uno? And the LED lights that's on?
We see it. We see the light.
Okay.
I cleverly meant to mute myself, and I muted Joe. So Joe needs to unmute now.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to turn the LED light off. Did you see it turn off?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
off.
It's one is on. All right. So if I turn, one is always on. All right. So I'm going to turn it on again.
Yeah. Looks like it's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm going to turn it off. Okay,
Okay, good.
so, all right. Let me go over. Whoops, I want to go to the previous one. So, all right, under the hood, the code is run. It's in the Creo 4th Pi script. It has glue code to run commands in the spreadsheet cells when the button is clicked. This is where the Python script is placed. So it varies depending on what kind of computer you're using. So that's one folder for the Linux Mac. And then there's one for Windows. One thing I tried for Linux Mint, I tried placing it in a private folder, which is different. I couldn't get it to work. So, all right, why do it? It's simple to set up ugly but usable user interfaces with a spreadsheet. Spreadsheets make activities such as data collection and processing easy, and also to harness the capabilities of other language. In this case, it's Python. So why use LibreOffice? Well, it's available on Linux, Windows, and Mac, and it's free. Lots of people like free. So any questions?
Yeah, it's Don. Where do you see the use of this?
Doing Arduino programming, setting up a quick and dirty user interface, and then going through the commands one by one. That
You
might, or like I could run a stepper motor or something like that.
Do you see some sort of tie between writing like creating spreadsheets and have it control hardware? Is there any sort of need for that out there?
I just thought it would be useful.
It's very
Right,
interesting.
there are other ways to, always other ways to do it, but in my work, I don't work. I'm just getting my feet wet with hardware and firmware programming, but I do a ton of applications where I'm too lazy to set up a dialog boxes and all the other things. I just put it on a spreadsheet and execute it. So this is one alternative.
Jürgen put a comment in the chat about using Windows 10 rather than Linux.
Yeah, Windows 10 is perfectly usable anywhere, at least for this. I just thought it would be a nice change to do it on Linux. I also am doing it on my MacBook and on my Raspberry Pi.
Oh,
So, so I could see something where, let's say you have a Raspberry Pi, you have a bunch of commands with a spreadsheet, you're interfacing with an Arduino or whatever have you. Maybe it would be a GA144 or something else like FPGA, and you run the commands from there. So, any other questions?
So I think
Okay.
we're ready to move on. Ting, you ready to go?
okay,
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Great.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, if you're not Ting and you're not muted, now's a good time.
Okay. All right, let me just get to, you cannot start sharing while.
Okay, let me stop sharing, please.
Okay, yeah, Joe, you have to,
I'm trying, yeah, I'm trying to do that.
We love Zoom.
Okay. It's telling me to join a meeting. Okay, Kevin, can you do it for me? Just mute me.
Bill
and,
would be the guy to do that. I can't. I looked and I can't.
Okay, just a minute.
Put your cursor on the bottom of the screen. I think it's the lower right.
Okay, yeah. All right.
That did it.
Okay, great.
Okay, let me